Hi, welcome to Daily Gadget, the place to discuss about the latest gadgets. With a couple of exceptions, the word that best summarizes 2022's big phone launches is iterative. This year has been all about small incremental updates that make for more polished devices but don't offer a lot of incentive to upgrade. If you bought a flagship phone within the past couple of years and you're happy with how it's performing, then you're probably safe to hold off for another year. But if it's time for a new one, you'll find that today's crop of top-tier devices is just a little bit better, more mature, with some minor rough edges smoothed out. The phones highlighted in this video deliver excellent daily performance, great cameras, and will keep on running for 4, 5, or maybe even 6 years into the future. You get what you pay for, however you're paying, so we'll help you pick the best phone for you and make sure it's worth it. For those recommendations, you can check out our guide to budget smartphones. Apple iPhone 14 Pro/Pro Max. The 14 Pro comes with a 6.1-inch screen and the Pro Max has a 6.7-inch screen. They're both promotion displays like last year, with adaptive refresh rates that go up to 120 Hz for smooth scrolling and animations. New this year is an always-on display. When you lock your phone, the screen dims and drops into a low-power mode, with frame rates as low as 1 Hz, but the clock, widgets, and wallpaper all remain visible. This means you can check the time or see if you have notifications without having to wake the display. The 14 Pro also has a new 48-megapixel main camera, which uses pixel binning to maximize light sensitivity and produce 12-megapixel images. The real-world improvements are subtle, with more fine detail in shadows and in low light, but the differences compared to a standard 12-megapixel sensor in the iPhone 14 are hard to see unless you're looking really closely. The higher resolution sensor also enables a 2x telephoto mode that's essentially a 12-megapixel crop from the middle of the sensor. It's the new default view for portrait mode, and it's one that feels like a happy medium between the wide and 3x telephoto that have been the only options on iPhones past. Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus. The S22 Plus features a big, bright 6.6-inch screen with 120 Hz refresh rate, the excellent flagship-grade Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and 3 high-quality rear cameras. You don't get the 10x telephoto or the built-in S Pen of the S22 Ultra, but you do get a more spacious screen than the 6.1-inch standard S22. It's a comfortable middle ground that's the right configuration of features and size for most people. The 1080p screen is bright, with a smooth-scrolling 120 Hz top refresh rate. Generally, it's just a pleasure to use. Even without the Ultra's 10x telephoto, the camera system is versatile and dependable, with an excellent portrait mode. Its build quality is top-tier, with an IP68 rating for robust dust and water resistance and a minimalist, understated design. The 4,500 mAh cell will last lighter users a full day, but moderate and heavy users who stream a decent amount of video will likely find themselves running the battery down into the single digits by the end of the day. It doesn't have the best battery life among flagship phones, but it's good enough for most people. Apple iPhone 13. By opting for the 13, you don't miss out on anything as far as the screen or processor is concerned. The iPhone 13 features a 6.1-inch screen with a standard refresh rate, no smooth scrolling promotion here, as does the 14. There's an A15 Bionic chipset in both phones, and although the 14's is a slight upgrade with an extra GPU core, they both deliver excellent performance. They're both MagSafe compatible for wireless charging, IP68, rated for robust water and dust resistance. Upgrading to the 14 does get you a slightly better camera system, but the improvements are subtle. The ultra-wide and front-facing cameras do better in low light compared to the 13, and the main camera features a bigger sensor that's able to hold on to detail in dim conditions a little better. But for the most part, you have to go looking for these differences in fine details. Most people viewing their images at web and social media friendly sizes won't see what's changed. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. The Ultra moniker in Samsung's Galaxy lineup no longer means you're just getting the biggest phone. Now, it means you're getting the biggest phone and everything but the kitchen sink. The S22 Ultra offers no fewer than 5 cameras, a huge, bright 6.8-inch OLED with up to a 120Hz refresh rate, and, oh yeah, a built-in stylus. It's the successor to the Note series, but more than that, it feels like the endgame of slab-style smartphone development. At the heart of the S22 Ultra is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset paired with 8 or 12 GB of RAM. Performance is, not surprisingly, excellent. You'll rarely see the phone stutter or hesitate, even while running graphics-intensive games. Samsung is also promising up to 4 generations of OS version upgrades, so the Ultra should remain a very good phone for years to come. Google Pixel 6. The Pixel 6 is a lot of phone for $599. Just note that the Pixel 7 is right around the corner, so it might be worth waiting to see what improvements it brings if you can hold off. Still, the Pixel 6 remains a great value-packed flagship. It will likely keep up for many years to come, too, since it will get OS updates through 2024 and security patches through 2026. The Pixel 6 features a sizable 6.4-inch 1080p OLED display and comes in bold color choices, like two-tone red or green. For a relatively big phone, it's not too thick yet still feels substantial. That said, its glossy body is super slippery, so you'll need to budget for a third-party case. Inside its sizable rear camera bar are dual cameras, 50-megapixel wide and 12-megapixel ultra-wide cameras, along with a laser detection autofocus sensor for low light and depth. Unlike the Pixel 6 Pro, the 6 doesn't have a telephoto camera. Still, its images are very good in both normal and low light and competitive with the best from Apple. The Pixel 6 has a large 4614 mAh battery. It should last 2 days for light users, supports Qi wireless charging, and has some protection from rainstorms, IP68. Its main weakness is a slow under-screen fingerprint scanner, and it lacks a face unlock option. So, that's it, the best phone to buy right now. Which is you want to buy? Don't forget comment below. And thanks for watching, have fun and see you next time.